The location is Varadero on the northern coast of Cuba. The sign in Spanish reads 7th World Championship of Underwater Hunting. Teams from 31 nations are accommodated in this American-style luxury pleasure resort. Representing Australia is 1965 World Champion Ron Taylor, manager Andrus Lidhams, 1967 Australian champions John Black and Vic Lay. The team is quick to commence training and to acclimatise. Conditions are near perfect for skin diving. The water is warm and clear, with marine life plentiful. Coral is abundant, but formations are different to those the Australians have experienced in their Great Barrier Reef. A feature of the Caribbean is the sea fan. John Black collects a triton shell. Vic Lay goes down holding his breath, for underwater breathing apparatus is not allowed in spearfishing competitions. One of the secrets of underwater hunting is to exhibit a slow, leisurely technique so as to conserve energy, with no hurried movements that would scare fish. John Black has won 2 Open Australian Spearfishing Championships and can hold his breath around 2 minutes, as can most other top-notch spearfishermen. In a deep crevice, John finds a sleeping nurse shark. A gentle prod with a spear awakens the creature. They are not considered dangerous if left alone. Same applies to the stingray, although for protection they have a nasty barb on their tail. A keen eye will detect signs of a crayfish, a tropical variety similar to ones found in Australian waters. This is Giuliana Treliani from Italy, a keen spearfisher girl. Unfortunately, women are not allowed to compete in the World Championships. Giuliana will later make an attempt on the women's deep diving record. In shallow water, a most unusual looking fish that doesn't seem to mind the ocean surge. Vic Lay plays a game with the sluggish fellow. Back on the beach at Varadero, the Italian team in action. The shark is similar to the one we saw earlier. The giant cod is just like the Queensland groper found in Australian waters. This one is around 300 pounds. John displays his prize, a tarpon, a more meritorious catch than the cod, for tarpon are very elusive and not easy to spear. The Cuban capital, Havana. We are looking from the top of what used to be the Havana Hilton. The seaside hotel where all teams are now staying. The influence of Cuban leader Fidel Castro is everywhere. At night, the grand parade of teams in the giant cultural center of Havana. This is the official opening of the 7th World Spearfishing Championships. With just over 30 nations participating, this is by far the best attendance in the history of world spearfishing. Only 11 nations contested the previous competitions. An impressive ceremony before a capacity house. Next day, all teams fly to Cayo Largo off the southern coast of Cuba, where a new 63-foot fishing boat is allocated to each team. Iron cannons from some old wreck. The Australian spearmen are anxious to complete the 6-hour boat trip to Cayo Avalos, where the championships will be held. Ron Taylor, John Black and Vic Lay, under the watchful eye of manager Andrus Lidhams. First indication of Cayo Avalos is the giant floating hotel for tourists. On the coral island, a tent is provided for each team. However, because of the humid atmosphere, most divers prefer to sleep on their boat. Helicopters are on duty at all times. It's obvious the Cubans have gone to a great deal of trouble and expense to stage these championships. Cayo Avalos was completely deserted and natural before the Cubans got to work on the championships. Ron Taylor has the dual task of competing in the championships as well as making this film. Competitors are allowed 1 day to look over the competition area, but without spear guns. The water is so warm, neoprene suits are not required. It's a real pleasure to skin dive under such ideal conditions. The Australians are searching to find where fish are congregated. It's also important to learn fish habits. Each species has different characteristics. Some are inquisitive, others timid. Most live under rocky ledges or in caves, while others keep to open water. Elk-horn coral, looking like the ribs of a long broken-up wreck. Magnificent gardens of sea fans responding faithfully to every whim of the ocean. John Black pretending to hunt. A Nassau groper, a particularly inquisitive fish. The trustful hogfish is quiet and easy to spear. Plenty of shells, but no time for collecting.